Adrian Newey is leaving Red Bull, and as this person says, you know it's real when Sky Sports has the video available in not just the UK. There have obviously been a ton of rumors about this for a while, but yesterday the German news organization AMUS, the U is lowercase, reported that he was leaving Red Bull. And this was the first article that I saw today. I don't know what order they came out in, but BBC definitively states in their title that Adrian Newey to leave Red Bull over Horner allegations. BBC says that he has been unsettled by the situation at Red Bull since Horner was accused of sexual harassment and coercive abusive behavior by a female employee, which Horner denies. Neither of them responded to requests for comment, but the really interesting part is Newey is said to believe that he can negotiate an exit that allows him to work at another team for next season. And the BBC says they've independently verified this with high-level sources close to Red Bull and Newey. Sky Sports understands that Newey has informally communicated his desire to leave to other people at Red Bull, and Craig Slater gives this really vague quote about the situation. Red Bull gave Sky a statement saying, Adrian is contracted until at least the end of 2025, and we are unaware of him joining any other team. And they note here that he extended his contract in May, reportedly, because obviously these things aren't public record. Craig Slater kind of pushes back on the BBC's reporting, saying that it's less about the allegations against Horner and the shit show that ensued and more about the general instability within the team and the power struggle going on between the owners and then also Marco and Horner. But he also says that he's been reporting that the relationship has cooled over the past few months. The last one I saw who independently verified it was Autosport, who said that the reports had been confirmed to Autosport by someone with knowledge of the situation. I just love how vague they all are in these terms. I would say Autosport's reporting on the reasoning falls somewhere in the middle of the BBC and Sky Sports, probably a little bit more toward the BBC side, because they do talk about the power struggle and say that it came to a head when the Horner allegations of misconduct were made. But it also said, it kind of repeats the BBC's phrasing that he's understood to be unsettled by Red Bull's situation and the saga around Horner, which has led to a shock decision to inform the team management that he has decided to walk out. Interestingly, they also say that the terms of his gardening leave are subject to further talks, which implies that there's room for negotiation there. And given the fact that F1 contracts seem less than ironclad, let's be honest, like they're constantly getting out of them, both on the team and the driver's side. At this point, I feel like it's pretty safe to say that he's leaving Red Bull. I mean, that's a lot of places to have independently verified it for it not to be true, but obviously he hasn't made a statement or responded to any requests for comment, so we don't 100% know that that's what's going to happen. Presumably, they would want to negotiate like what that exit package is going to look like, the stuff about the gardening leave. He would potentially want to go somewhere else, and we'll probably hear in terms of his reasonings from him himself when that announcement ends up being made. But if he did do it because of the allegations against Horner and how that was handled, and he probably knows a lot more than any of us do, being obviously behind the scenes, good for him. I feel like that's super commendable. In terms of what his next step would be, I mean, first of all, it's possible he would just retire. He is having that sailboat built, so he could go sail around the world for all we know. He could go to another series. He could do something else entirely. I'm pretty sure Adrian Newey could do whatever he wanted at this point. But it is possible he would go to another Formula One team. Aston Martin reportedly has offered him a ton of money. I'm assuming any team would pay him probably whatever he wanted. But he has long been linked to Ferrari. And there was a huge rumor like last week that he was at a meeting in Maranello. But it turned out he was just at this karting thing and was wearing a Red Bull suit. But it could have been a cover. Adrian Newey, wouldn't you love to come to Italy? Some people retire in Italy. It'll basically be like a vacation. Please.